Okay, thank you, Murray, and thank you for all of the organizers for all the work for a seamless event. I'd like to start with a thought experiment for you all. So just imagine you're sat there, you've got a throbbing headache, you can't really focus. And I come along, I've got some new medicine, it's going to completely cure you, you'll have 100% focus. It carries a 10% risk that you'll get heart failure in the next 12 months. Do you take it? Any takers? No, it's kind of quiet. Another scenario, sorry everyone, you've previously been diagnosed with a terminal illness, less than 6 months left to live. Again, a new medicine. It's not going to cure you this time, but it's going to give you a good chance of living a happy, healthy life for the next 5-10 years. Again, a 10% chance that you'll get heart failure in the next 12 months. This time, any takers? Yeah, there's some heads this time. Okay, so in both cases, we're looking at a medicine, and there's benefits and risks. And so we can define quality, in this case, quality of a medicine, but quality of a product or a service, as the benefits that a user derives from it against the risks that they take on by using it. And of course, it's not normally a black and white picture like this. We're living in a world of gray where there are multiple benefits. We don't know them all in advance. They can be different for different users. And there's lots of risks, a lot that we don't know about before. So our job as lead developers, as technologists, is to develop quality products, quality services, which means offering something where the benefits outweigh the risks. So in order to do that, we need to build the right thing, and we need to build it at the right time. There's no point spending 3 years building something great, and AWS released it 6 months ago. And we need to build it in the right way. And this is generally what we're most comfortable in, the building in the right way bit, because as we grow as individual contributors, we're thinking about the quality of our code, not releasing bugs, being able to build scalable, maintainable systems. But as we grow in the leadership of the company, we have to focus more on the other things and how we partner with the rest of the business to get in that sweet spot in the middle where we're building the right thing, the right time, and the right way. And so that means we have to be part of the conversation. We can't be in our own silo. We have to go out there, challenge the rest of the business, and also advocate for our own teams. So there's a lot of work there. It's not easy. It's all about the communicating, negotiating. I'm not going to go into that now, but here's a brief reading list to get going. If you've not read these, getting to yes, the classical text in negotiation. Never split the difference tells you everything that's wrong with getting to yes, and thinking fast and slow lets you know how people think and helps you with things like understanding loss aversion, availability, bias, the certainty effects, etc. So take a read. We're going to spend the rest of the time, though, looking at the risk side of the scale. And we're going to look at 5 steps to understanding and managing risks. So identifying, communicating, prioritizing, mitigating, and then finally rolling up risks. So first of all, we're going to look at how we can identify risks, both within our own teams and also within the larger organization. And in order to look at some of the different ways that we can do this, I'm going to use the Cynefin framework. If you don't know this, there's a link up there, or Google it. It's developed for decision-making by Dave Snowden when he was working at IBM in the late 1990s. And what we have, that didn't transpire very well. What we have is 5 different domains that we can be working in. So for decision making, in this case, going to use it for identifying risks. So obvious, complicated, complex, chaotic, and then disordered. So first of all, obvious risks, and these can be things like, okay, there's a risk that I'm gonna ship code with a bug. What can we do about that? I mean, we're going to have some tests around our code, same way that we use version control. And so these are obvious. They shouldn't be something that the team has to think about. It should be covered in best practices, checklists, and the like. Complicated risks are what we're often thinking about. They're things that we can try to figure out in advance. We can do things like stepping through a process. So say a user's interacting with a form, what are all the ways that could go wrong when that user is interacting with the software and the processes we've got? We can also identify them through open brainstorming. We need to make sure we have a diverse group of people in that room from across the business in order to really understand where those risks could come from. We can do pre-mortems, so it's like a post-mortem, but you do it in advance. So, thinking about what it is we're trying to build and how that could fail. And we can also, use our own prior experience, or, like we saw in the talk by the two people from Envision about the expert group. So in that case, the architecture groups. Just be careful with the prior experience. You tend to get sucked into the availability bias where you've seen something before, so you then end up spending a lot of time working on it. We then have the complex domain. These are things that we can't figure out in advance. So we can try to dig into it by things like doing a spike, and also having good observability into our code. So having logging, monitoring, metrics, etc., so that we can find things early, hopefully before we get the complaints from our customers. And then there's the chaotic ones, the unknown unknowns, things that we can't know about before, but we can do things like chaos engineering in order to try to find them and then fix things before everything blows up. Where we don't want to be is the disorder in the middle, where we're basically head in the sand and just fingers crossed it will all work. So there's a lot of different ways to identify risks. What we then need to do is to be able to communicate it. And this is something that I often see people struggle with, where you try to put lots and lots of things all together and keep on talking, and you can see it's not really getting across. So what I like to do is follow the 3 C's: be consistent, be clear, be concise, and got a simple framework for breaking down a risk in a way that you can do that. So because of some cause, there is a risk that an event will occur resulting in a consequence. And there can be multiple events coming from the same cause. There can be multiple consequences from the same event, and you can get the same consequence by different routes through. So, for example, because of our unlimited PTO policy, there's a risk that some people will take advantage of it and take too much vacation, resulting in missed deliveries. So that's one example, and there's lots that we could do in that way, and it helps just break it down into a concise way. So because of the risk that resulting in. When we've got those, we don't want to be working on every one of them, so how can we prioritize these? So what I like to do is for each of them is to score them for the likelihood that they'll occur, the impact it will have if that event does realize, and also when will we detect it. And the detection's often the harder bit, but this can mean, do we detect it when we're actually in development before we release the code? So if that's the case, it's a low score there. Or do we detect it when our biggest client calls up and the whole site's down? That's a higher score. So we can go through each of these, score them. We're going to give them a score of 1, 4, 7, or a 10. It's a t-shirt sizing thing. We don't want to spend a lot of time worrying, is it a 2 or a 3? So we're going to score for likelihood, the same for impact, same for the detection, multiply them up to get a prioritized risk number. And this will be somewhere between 1 and 1,000, which really helps to draw out those biggest risks. So we have our risks. We just want to now focus on those highest ones. And so what do we do about them? How do we mitigate them? So one way I like to think about this is that mitigating risk is like taking on an insurance policy. Right? We've got to pay something down in order to mitigate that risk. That's the premium we're paying. We can choose how big a premium we want to pay at that point in order to reduce the risk, either the likelihood, the impact, or the detection score. And remembering, of course, that if it does happen, we've paid the premium, but it doesn't mean there's going to be nothing left for us to pay there. We'll normally have some sort of a deduction or a copay to go with it. Also worth bearing in mind that anytime you buy an insurance policy, someone else is selling it. There is always a flow there. It's not necessary that we're going to want to mitigate every risk. So we've got our risks. We understand which are the highest priority. We've got mitigation strategies for them. We can then use them as we're rolling up those risks. Either, if we've got multiple teams, we want to understand what are those highest risks, are there commonalities between them, can we bring out best practices from that, and just use it to guide our conversations and not get stuck down rabbit holes. So you're never going to get rid of risk. It's always going to be there. You may as well learn how to use it for your own benefit. And we've been talking mostly about the risks, so also remember there's the flip side. We have to provide the benefits. If we spend too much time just focusing on the risks, we'll never provide the benefits and we will not have the quality product. We've covered a lot. So it's always, how do you actually implement this? How do you get going? Because of these difficulties in creating change, particularly in large organizations, there's a risk you won't do any of it, resulting in lost value. So just another little bit of a quick reading list for ways to get going. Atomic Habits, great at making those first little starts. Mindset, how people think, and then you can see how these things, how actually using risk to communicate and negotiate helps with the 5 dysfunctions of a team. So I'm Jonathan Graham, I'm CTO at Transaction Assurance Group. Feel free to connect with me, and thank you all very much.